Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Ray Tampa Podcast. Our podcast is new, our podcast is bold, but truth is our guiding principle. We will tell it like it is. We have in our studio two very talented and intellectual gentlemen, Russell Cato and Jamie Wilson III. They're my co-host. My name is Ray Tampa, and I'm the host of the Ray Tampa Podcast. What we're going to do here today is I'm going to read an article that I wrote. After reading the article, my co-host and I are going to engage in a very lively discussion. Today's article is entitled Jim Jordan, Despicable. Yes, he is. Jim Jordan, despicable. Yes, he is. To begin, I ask that you imagine a big-time pimp with no less than a dozen women in his stable. This pimp, who is well-connected, has received a government appointment to lead an investigation into the prostitution trade. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Such a pathetic clown should be barred from such an investigation, important investigation that is, and he should be fitted for an orange jumpsuit, plain and simple. This analysis fits the profile of a vile member of the United States House of Representatives, Jim Jordan. No, there's no suggestion that Jim Jordan pimps women. No. However, he is identified as a person who supported the big lie. Someone who may have conspired with insurrectionists, someone who possibly gave aid and comfort to insurrectionists, etc. These are all serious allegations that could lead to the removal of Jim Jordan from Congress and possibly imprisonment. Yet, he is now in a position to investigate the investigators. Under the contrived narratives of investigating the, quote, Deep South, end of quote, and the, quote, weaponization of the FBI and CIA, end of quote, Jordan will issue subpoenas to gather testimony and documents from government employees and agencies. Hopefully, the judicial system will prevent this obvious attempt to interfere with an active criminal investigation on the part of one of the possible criminals. All bullshit. This clown should have been jailed and tried long ago. The Justice Department, in my opinion, isn't deep enough. Speaking of subpoenas, if anyone working for the government receives a subpoena from Jordan, they should respond by saying, quote, when pigs fly, end of quote. Or they should say, subpoena me after, and only after, you respond to your subpoena, end of quote. Check this out. When investigators inquired about Jim Jordan's involvement or knowledge of the sexual scandal at Ohio State University, his response was, I don't know anything. When investigators inquired about whether he communicated with former President Trump on the morning of January 6th, his response was, I don't recall anything. Again, all bullshit. This clown has zero credibility, and he has no business asking anyone about anything. If Merrick Garland and DOJ had done the job of rounding up all the congressional insurrectionists and supporters, we wouldn't have this stupidity unfolding in Congress at this point. Thank you. All right, Mr. Cato and Mr. Wilson, let's get on. Let's get it on.
Get him, Russ.
All right, Russ, tell me what you got on your mind.
You remember when we used to talk about hypocrisy?
Hypocrisy, yes.
This is the mother of
Oh,
hypocrisy.
man, yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes,
This
yes.
is the mother of hypocrisy. This idiot, this is a hell of an idiot here. And I'm glad that you recognize him through your reading. I'm hoping the people who are listening to you, to us, will recognize this. Jim Jordan comes out of Ohio.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Right.
That district, that area have been gerrymandered for so long. They took the urban area and kind of moved them out and gave them the rural area. They tried to stop that, Ray, but they weren't successful in doing. So that's how this idiot became
A member of
Congress.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Now here's what they like about him, Tam. You know, the gunfighter, okay, saloon, them kind of thing. They think he's a tag dog. They like it. They think he a badass boy.
Yes, sir.
They,
Yes, sir.
you ever notice how he dressed in Congress?
Well, he doesn't have his coat on most of the time,
Yeah.
and he'll roll up his sleeves like he's ready to fight. Oh, man, give me a break. All,
That's what he
all
is, right?
imagery.
That's what he
All
is.
Just-
imagery.
That's what he is.
Pedophile.
All imagery. All imagery. It's a shame that thing in Ohio State didn't go, because that was a sad case.
It was.
Very
That was a
sad.
very sad
It
case.
was.
Over 1,500
Yeah,
students. were affected by
very
that.
sad.
Right.
He knew about it.
Yeah, you know about it.
He
He
knew
said he
about it.
didn't know a thing.
Yeah.
But check this out. Not only did he say he didn't know anything, there's testimony on the part of some students
Yeah,
that he tried to get them to recant their testimony.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, he
He used
did.
an intermediary, a guy by the name of Heckler,
Yeah,
and Heckler, he forced Heckler, and Heckler stated saying this, that he was pressured by Jordan to get the students to recant their stories.
That right there, that statement right there means that he was,
He knew.
what you call it? It's a legal situation that could easily have landed him in jail,
He was complicit in the act.
tampering with witnesses.
yeah, yeah.
Tampering
Yeah,
with
that's what he was.
witnesses.
That's exactly what he did. That's
Exactly what he
exactly
did.
what he
And
did.
last time I checked, that's against the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you read up on that time period, those incidents, there are a whole lot of things he did
Oh, yeah,
that were in violation of the law.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But he got favored treatment
Mhm.
because he was running for Speaker of the House,
Yeah.
Speaker of the House of Representatives.
If that was anybody of color, all that would have came up, and that would have been the news on out. I'm sorry with that. I mean, that was really bad. And a lot of this stuff was during his tenure
Yeah,
at the college. You know, that garbage that would have come up. And this guy clearly knew. It was a referee that he went on file as John Doe, but it was a referee that actually saw
yeah.
that doctor masturbating.
Yeah.
Yeah, masturbating. He went on record saying that. Yeah, physically masturbating. And he reported that. He told Jordan, and he also told the guy Heckler. Heckler did a lot to try to get those guys in a separate area, the young boys, and he preyed on like 15, 16-year-old boys to get them, because it was even voyeurs. It wasn't just it was a doctor and maybe his friends like, would like look at these guys while they were showering and all that stuff. He went so far as to drug them, rape them. I mean, they said it happened over 1,500 students.
Okay, now let's go back to Jordan himself.
Mhm.
Okay.
What gave the authorities the incentive to just ignore this stuff?
I don't know. Privilege. I don't know.
Privilege.
Privilege.
That's it.
Yeah,
Privilege.
it's privilege. Because I mean, this stuff, these people went on record. Even some of Jordan's students went back. When the referee mentioned to Heckler and Jordan about it, they were like, yeah, we know. That was their response.
There
Yeah.
was a time, I think the physician, the doctor was named Richard Strauss, is that his name?
Mhm.
They knew that if a kid was going into his office, you got to put your pants on.
Yeah.
They knew that. And
Yeah.
Jordan made the comment to that, but he better not try any of my kids.
Right. And this is from the New York Times. This is from the New York Times. One guy went in there for an ingrown toenail. The doctor like, pull your pants on. Yeah. And this
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
yeah, he was drugging them and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It
That
was
was
just, I mean, this guy, they knew of it. So I don't know how someone like that could be elevated to House Speaker. And his predecessor, it was a House Speaker before they got in
That's
some
right.
trouble.
Hastert.
Dennis Hastert, got in some trouble, actually having sex with boys and all of that. But I equate this with having sex.
Yeah.
If you do
That's
nothing
true.
about it, you're
his guilt.
you're an accessory because you're abating. You're involved, and it's
So the question
sad.
will come right away, like Jamie is saying, if you involve yourself in that type of environment, and yet you can promote yourself to be a senator, I mean, a representative, boy, that's sad.
Well,
That's sad.
as much as we detest Jim Jordan as a person, we have to look at the Republican Party
Yes. Yes.
in terms of all the ridiculousness
yeah,
that goes on within that party.
Yeah.
And we can start
Yeah.
with Trump.
right.
Look at
He's
all the
king
nonsense
of it.
he committed or demonstrated
Mhm.
and got elected president.
Yeah,
Well, you see, Ray, that's why this thing is like that. These boys, the Jim Jordans, the Mark Meadows, the Speaker of the House, these boys are all loyal to Trump.
they are.
They loyal to Trump.
They are.
They're not concerned about the government. They're concerned about protecting the right of Trump. That's why this shit is like this.
Yeah, they are loyal.
They're
Truly
loyal.
loyal.
How in the hell can you become leader of a House committee, judicial committee? This is what this people
Because
is.
he's revered in the Republican Party. He's
Exactly.
revered because they view him as, when you started your conversation, as being tough,
Tough.
all powerful. And what they mean by tough, during his line of questioning, he's good about repeating question
Yes,
after
he is.
question
Yeah.
without giving his target
Time
a
to
chance.
answer.
That's right.
Yeah.
A chance to answer.
Machine gun them.
Did you do it?
Hmm?
What date did you do it?
Yeah.
How did you do it? Man, give
Right.
us a chance to say, hell no.
Right. And if you don't answer, then it's in their eyes, it's a form of guilt.
Yeah, so
You know what I
they,
mean?
they appreciate him being that type of person.
Yeah.
But
Go on.
as far as the scandal at Ohio State, and in my mind, he got away with
He
something.
got
Yeah,
away
he
with
did.
it. He
Big
got
time.
away with it.
And it's my hope that at some point, a piece of evidence is
Yes.
going to come forward. I said this at our last podcast, that I hope that one of those guys from the past will come and say, I'm tired of Jim Jordan lying.
Yeah.
As a result, I want to tell my story.
But they have. Students have been coming forward
And yes.
and nothing.
Well, not only do I want to tell my story, I want to bring my panties, or my underwear. I don't want to say panties.
Yeah.
My underwear that I had on, and here's the DNA. I would
Right.
love to hear that.
But you know what I would love to see? Let's say Jim Jordan called you in.
Mhm.
I'm hoping that person will wear Ohio State. shirt.
Mhm.
Good point, good point. Let's let everybody know, if you go testify before the House Judiciary Committee, wear an Ohio State wrestling t-shirt or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Make sure all the letters can be seen.
But you know what, Ray, this thing is all about? See, they mad at the Democrats for trying to get at Trump. And so what Jordan and his henchmen are doing, and I heard you use that word weaponization.
Right.
They want a weaponization towards the FBI, Biden, and DOJ. That's what they after. That's what they want to do. They want to kill.
Well, you got to understand this piece of their playbook.
That's right.
Corresponds to what they did against Hillary Clinton.
Right.
That's
When
that's
they
where it started
used,
from.
Benghazi.
Benghazi. That's
They-
right.
They questioned her time and time
They beat
time
her up.
again.
And she never took the fifth.
Never took.
Never
the-
took the fifth. Never took the
She
fifth.
never lied. She answered their questions.
Right.
And they didn't find anything.
Nothing.
That's not what they were attempting to do. They knew they weren't going to find anything.
Right.
But they just wanted to make her look bad in
That's
the eyes
it.
of the public,
Yeah.
and they succeeded. There are a lot of people out there that said Benghazi caused them to change their mind about Hillary Clinton.
Exactly.
That's those Fox watchers. They sit there all day watching only Fox, that rhetoric. I mean, really, it's a bunch of hate going on at Fox. When you watch Fox, I go into some of these homes, these are old rich Republicans. They have Fox on nonstop and they are
All day.
brainwashed. They are
All
brainwashed.
day.
Yeah. You know, right now, the big issue is the border. You know, I mean, they are brainwashed. And that's if they can get control of the FBI, the DOJ,
That's what
they could erase all Trump's issues, all his issues, like upcoming they can do all of that. That's what they want. Those are basically power moves. Power moves. Because if they got control of that, then everything's Republican.
Well, you know, they're proposing to offer legislation that will repeal
Mhm.
the impeachment trials
Mhm.
that Trump went through.
Right. Right.
How stupid.
No.
How stupid. But stupidness is not of concern to them.
No.
There's
It
no-
is not.
No. No.
They don't care how they look.
they don't.
Because the first thing they've done is to try and pass legislation to further enhance the restrictions on abortion.
Right.
And abortion is what kicked their butts in the last election.
Exactly.
They don't care.
They don't care. They're
They
still
don't
going to go
care.
out there, and they're trying to make it like it's a religious thing. Oh, it's wrong. You know, we talked about all this. They're using a corrupt religion because I'm telling you this. You know, Project Blitz and what's that other religious organization that we talked about?
Eventually.
Evangelical, how they're just
Yeah.
trying to rewrite the Constitution and everything. So it's bigger than that. But their test was to see. They, you know, as I always say, that Roe versus Wade was a test.
Yeah.
It was a test that they passed. So now they're trying to go at everything.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to continue to do this.
But the thing about it is, from my perspective, let them.
That's what I'm
Because
saying. Let
if
them
the
do it.
country has already shown that they're not interested in this stupidity
Mhm.
and they want to continue along that line of thinking, let them.
You see, Ray, they can never legislate.
That's the
These group
point.
of people are not for
That's the point.
legislation.
Right.
They
That's the
can't do
point.
it. They can't do it.
Right.
They all want to investigate. That's
Yeah.
what they want to do.
To find something.
That is.
Well, Jay, I don't even know if they're looking to find anything. It's a matter of let's use our investigative powers
Yeah.
to hurt the image of Biden,
That's
his
right.
son,
DOJ.
Harris, Vice President Harris, and everybody else.
It's such a waste of time and money.
Oh, man.
It is such a waste of time and money. Now the Republicans are like overjoyed that they're messing with Biden and Hunter Biden and all this nonsense. They're just, it's like, oh, they did it to Trump. Now they're going to see it's like tick for tack, bunch of kids in the sandbox. Just
But you go
ridiculous.
back, Gray, and look at what you use in your writing. That word weaponization.
Right.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You see their platform. Look at their platform. To lie, to obstruct, to burn down.
Yeah,
That's their whole shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
give me that line up again, Russ. To do what?
To lie,
To lie,
to obstruct,
to obstruct,
to burn down.
and to
Yeah.
burn down.
That's their shit.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
it.
they're good.
Yeah.
They're good.
They're very good at it.
And the big liar, well, they're all big liars. They're
Big
all
liars.
big
Big
liars. But this guy out of New York, Santos, he's so pathetic as a liar that the other liars are shunning him.
Yeah,
McCarthy
Oh,
can't just get rid of him because he needs that vote.
he needs that vote.
He needs that vote.
He needs that vote.
But he's an embarrassment in terms of how he fabricated his whole resume.
right.
He claimed to
Right.
be Jewish. He's not. He claimed to have attended a certain university. He didn't.
Mhm.
He even claimed he was a volleyball star. He wasn't. Oh my God. But I'm hoping that they will find that there's something illegal in terms of all that money,
Mhm.
$750,000 that he supposedly loaned to his campaign.
Loan to his campaign.
Where did he get that money?
So they can get him on that.
Yeah.
They're gonna get
They're
it.
gonna get him on
Yeah,
that.
They're-
Yeah,
they're gonna-
Forensic
campaign
accountants.
fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, get
Yeah.
Go
him.
get him.
They're gonna get
And
it.
I hope he say, Jim Jordan gave it to me.
Ah.
Jim Jordan gave it to me and he told me, don't say much.
Well, he's already did witness tampering.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, he's not above that.
That is
using
so
pressure.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's witness
Mhm.
tampering
Yeah.
in the first degree
yeah.
in terms of trying to get these kids in Ohio to recant.
He's a blatant liar. He is a liar. And the fact that they, I'm going back to these kids, man, 15, 16 years old. They know this stuff is going on, and nothing's being done. And I know most people are law-abiding citizens, but at that point, when it's out there and it's been, it's been reported to the schools, it's been reported to the coaches, and nothing happening. My thing is, why weren't the parents outraged? This should have been a bigger deal or a bigger
Exactly.
story. But that's when you take it into your own hands. When you go to the law and nothing's happening because of privilege, because of money, because of whatever, and nothing happens. That's when it's time to.
And that's a good question. Why didn't the parents express
Exactly.
outrage?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, damn, a scholarship. If something happened to my kid, and the coaches threatened some of the kids, like, I guess they didn't say specifically what they threatened them when it was brought to the coach's attention. Doing these exams, I feel like he's doing this, that, and he's been warned. I mean, this doctor was warned by Heckler and a whole bunch of other coaches. Like, you're too hands-on, like literally hands-on. You go in there, your toe hurt, you out your pants. Come on.
Well, your fans.
Oh, Lord.
That's just,
But
Yeah.
there's something in that article on the sex saying that
mhm.
it was a brother or one of the brothers that Jim Jordan called and started crying to him, will you please go against your brother in this case? I remember reading that. Just can't find it.
Okay, he called the brother of a possible victim
Yeah,
and
And-
asked that his brother intervene and go and get his brother and
yeah, but please go against your brother.
go against
Yeah,
him.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he said, and Jim Jordan was really crying, saying, please go against your brother on this case.
Right. And that's the tampering he was doing. I mean, it's obvious for him to lie and said that
Yeah.
did not go on while he was there when it was a well-known, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when I just say, you just take it into your own hands. That doctor, if that was my child, boy, whew, death. I'm sorry. It's just death.
Well,
What type of people we have in Congress?
well,
Serious.
it's sad.
It's
Yeah.
It
sad.
is actually sad
It's
because
sad, man.
they are proposing legislation
Yeah.
that is going against the wishes of the citizenry.
Right.
You got 61% of the country indicating that they are against this or that.
Yeah.
But these idiots don't care.
They don't.
They don't care.
They
They're
don't
overriding
care.
the people. They don't care. And they lie. you could do a lot of things to support a lie. I mean, there's three kinds of lies: a lie, a damn lie, and statistics. Because you can pull up any statistic to support a lie.
That's true.
Well, looking at all the legislation that Jim Jordan opposes, legislation
I
that
got
is
that
good
down.
for the people, well, we can start with healthcare, the Affordable Care Act.
He didn't like that.
He's against it.
Mm-hmm.
We can look at the environment.
He
He's
didn't like
against
that.
it.
It's against that.
Abortion,
Abortion, he's against it. Antitrust
he didn't like that.
and the tech policy,
Mhm.
against it,
And the LGBT
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Didn't like.
against it.
Everything that Trump is with, he's with.
That's right.
He's down with whatever Trump, like you guys say, he's a Trumpian. He's down with Trump. And I don't know, what the hell is Trump doing to get all this loyalty from people?
Trump said he likes to grab them by the, but those were women. I wonder if he had a policy of
He grabbed a few of them. He must be.
men.
Yeah,
He must have,
he
he
must
must have
be.
had a policy of grabbing some of the men too.
But you know, let me piggyback over what Jamie said. I'm concerned. How is it that a man like Trump can convince people to like him? What has he done?
He speaks their language. He speaks
Yeah.
their language. All that hidden
hate.
racism.
Yeah.
It's been hidden. Now he opened the door. The floodgates are out. They're like Superman with S's on their chest. They can speak out. They have their leader, Trump, and they can hit all areas that they've been wanting to hit. They can speak on everything. They're supported now. They feel like they have support. Plus, you have our dumbass governor
Oh,
who's with them.
oh,
You know, the Texas governor. I mean, he's got his,
dumbass.
yeah.
But going back to Trump and his influence,
God.
when he was running, I was serious when I told people there's no way this clown would become president.
I did.
And I was willing to bet money on that statement. And lo and behold,
He became.
I
I couldn't believe. I couldn't.
I just knew.
I still can't believe it
Yeah,
today.
I went to sleep on it because I was like, Hillary got this. When I went, and I was like, I would have, if I had $1 million, I would have bet $1 million that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was,
But you know the thing that bothers me with that, and what champion y'all saying, that you got a 9% of Black population that support this dude.
yeah.
Now, that's
yeah.
a very
Yeah,
important
yeah.
statement
Yeah.
because when I see these African Americans on TV or in the news, what have you,
Jeez.
and they're supporting Trump,
I'm like, boy,
is it? I equate a lot of these people as coming from Haiti
Yeah.
or coming from outside of the United States,
mhm.
and they have been
Bring-
granted citizenship from
Okay.
another country.
And they're so thankful.
Okay.
That's what I'm like. Even the clown that we have as our Surgeon General in Florida.
Oh, he's a,
Wasn't it lap horse?
he needs, he's a
Lapdog,
lapdog. Yeah,
Surgeon General lapdog.
yeah.
But it's one of these things that I just am so puzzled. But we've talked about some of these people, like the Herschel Walker thing and the guy who was over housing, HUD.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Brain
You
surgeon.
got a brain surgeon who lost his mind.
Jeez.
What was his name? I can't remember his
I try not to think of him.
I know, I cannot.
I just know he's
Dr. Stupid.
Dr. Stupid.
That's
Talk
his
with his
name.
eyes.
Dr. Stupid.
Yeah.
You got all that sense and you let a dumb control you.
Yeah.
But there's another boy that we need to look into too, a brother guy,
Oh,
Senator Tim Scott.
Yeah, Tim Scott.
Tim Scott.
Tim
Ah,
Tim Scott. Tim Scott.
You see,
ask the question. Where do they grow these kind of people?
Mhm.
There must be a field somewhere. They sprinkle some horse manure, cow manure, elephant manure out in that field to grow these kind of people.
you know, at one time, Trump is asking Tim Scott probably to run as a vice.
I hope he does. Oh, Trump ain't gonna
Could you
win,
imagine that?
and he
Man,
won't win.
he ain't gonna win.
Only to get the black vote to
Herschel Walker.
further his cause. Oh, Herschel can't, don't even know his ABC. So he ain't gonna bother Herschel.
Well, listen, gentlemen, we're at that end again. As I've said over and over, we have fun and time rolls fast. So we're at the end. I'm going to thank the two of you for a very productive conversation about Jim Jordan. And I'm going to ask our listeners to tune in to 99.1 FM The Berg each and every Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. to listen to the Ray Tampa podcast. Go to YouTube, type in the Ray Tampa podcast. Go to the Weekly Challenger and look at a lot of the articles that we have posted in the Weekly Challenger. And I do want to remind you, sponsorships are welcome. Sponsorships are welcome. With all of that being said, good evening.